Earlier this week, I got to listen to another science great, Michio Kaku. One of my supervisors was able to get me front row tickets, so I drove up to Boulder with my cousin to see him. While I didn't get to spend the time with him I did with Neil deGrasse Tyson, I still got to shake his hand and get my book autographed, right before security started pushing people back from the stage, saying he was not doing autographs. Dr. Kaku is now the third famous scientist whose hand I have shook, the other two being Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson. The downside of being in the front row is the security guard is right in front of you, and photography was forbidden during the events. However, when the guard wasn't looking, I quickly snapped this picture with my cell phone hidden behind my book. The talk itself was quite fascinating. Dr. Kaku spoke about how science drives our economy, and that waves of inventions cause a bubble and an economic collapse roughly every 80 years. He said that locomotives and steam power created a bubble leading to a crash in the 1850s, followed by electricity and automobiles fueling a bubble leading to the stock market crash of 1929, and lastly the technology bubble, including computers and the internet, creating a bubble that led to the mortgage crisis in 2008. The next bubble he predicted would be a combination of biotechnology and quantum computing. He said, computers will follow electricity and running water in the way that they will soon be everywhere yet nowhere. The term computer will drop out of everyday language as computers will become an accepted presence. People don't walk into a room today and wonder if it has electricity, they just feel for a light switch. Soon you'll feel for a switch that turns your computer walls on. Computers will become so cheap that they will become disposable, can be printed like paper used once and then thrown away. If this seems unrealistic, he mentioned how musical greeting cards today have more computer power than the Allied forces combined in World War II. And we throw those away. Of course, quite a bit of the talk was dedicated to robots. He denied the idea that robots would take over and enslave humans, as robots can only be programmed, and their ability to learn and adapt to unique situations cannot replace that of humans. He mentioned meeting Asimo, the world's smartest robot, and talking to the robot's creators, and he learned Asimo takes 6 hours to walk across the room and has the relative intelligence of a retarded cockroach. However, he said robots will take over repetitive tasks such as factory workers, bank tellers, and many other middlemen. He said the future in jobs is in creative work, artists, designers, engineers, scientists, etc. He said, however, that there will still be blue-collar jobs such as garbage men and repair workers, those whose jobs still require learning and adaptation to new scenarios. Biotechnology was another big topic. He talks about 3D printing of organs and extending human lifespans. He mentioned the future of Google Glass-like products, saying they will someday be used to learn about strangers you meet for the first time, to translate people speaking to you in a foreign language, and to price check any products you are about to buy. He said this will benefit consumers as it will force producers to be honest about their products and provide good customer service with any hopes of staying competitive. He only briefly touched on his inspiration from Albert Einstein to create a theory of everything, an equation that can be written in the space of 1 inch that would explain all the laws of the universe. The talk lasted about 2 hours, and I could easily talk about it for 2 hours, but I don't want to bore you with everything. However, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have in the comments below. A Q&A followed the talk. People asked about the trade-offs with technology and privacy. He said there would be a balance achieved so that since everyone will have access to a great deal of information about everyone else, it will keep people honest and respectful of others once it balances out. Someone asked him the consequences of society not advancing as fast as science, and if humanity can survive itself. He said he believes humanity will survive itself, but things could always go wrong. He said that once we become a space-traveling civilization that can colonize different planets and different solar systems, it would be almost impossible to destroy us, but we may destroy ourselves getting to that point. He wondered if we don't find aliens because most destroy themselves trying to make that transition. Of course, there had to be the one person that asked, could God microwave a burrito so hot that he himself could not eat it? Dr. Kaku explained that, like Einstein, he believes in the God of order, the wonder that allows relatively simple laws to govern the universe, not a personal God that microwaves and eats burritos. What are your thoughts on these topics? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them, and see you next time.